passenger side instrument panel is in. It's actually only a very few connections, but it's really fiddly. Glenn, again, I'm glad I'm not working on the line installing these things at a build rate. But then if you're doing them every day, then you will know all of the shortcuts. All right, so I have a new glove box, and I fitted that on the bench, and it's actually come out very nicely. There are 2 screws here that go in from the inside onto this base that flattens out this surface, and then on the other side there's this plate that's fitted. This is a brand new glove box inner, and you have to fold everything to get it to line up. Okay, normally there's a courtesy light which is a bulb holder, and I'm not sure if there is one, I can't remember. I'm not seeing any wiring that would be close that's related to that, so maybe not. Now, the hardest part for me was this choke, fitting this choke cable. It took me several different attempts to do it. First of all, I installed the whole assembly and then went to fit this, to tighten this piece in. And the reality is that that's actually pretty difficult, because to tighten it, you have to get access to that screw or that bolt. Anyway, that wasn't so straightforward. So I had to take it all out again, try different ways of doing that. Eventually, I did it before I attached this, before I fitted it to the vehicle. So I did it in the footwell of the vehicle. I pulled the cables through to make some room for that. Connecting the actual choke cables was also pretty difficult. The hole for the choke cables is very tight. You only need 1 or 2 strands on the cable to alter the interference for them to slide in. Yeah, so just kind of difficult. Now, there's a nut here, which is just here. Make sure that's tightened up on the bench, and there's no up and down, or very little up and down play of that retainer in there. You can't see it at the moment, but let me, well, I don't want to move that. So the cables are tightened by a small bolt, and obviously that's a little fiddly. Now, in addition to that, my choke lever has indents. Maybe you can hear them. Okay, and you can see that there is a little ball there. I was quite thrilled to find all that assembly was completely intact. The way that you get the right feel for that is literally by tightening this nut and bolt assembly. The struggle with that is that to get the instrument panel assembly in, this has to be loosened off so that that bolt there clears this gap. There's enough room for the nut, but there isn't enough room for the bolt, the thread that's sticking out on the other side of that nut. So all that assembly has to be loose before you slide it in. Then you need that spacer. and the bolt goes through from the other side, and tightened up on this side. This is a instrument panel light, which is illuminating the choke. So it's illuminating this choke label. This is for the fact that you have the choke light. This yellow and green runs to the switch. The switch here, and then there's a green that runs to the bottom of the harness, where you pick up the live feed into the back of that switch. So a little, there isn't a lot going on, but it's all pretty difficult. Again, I keep using that word fiddly, but it has gone in. Now, you also have to fit the ducting for the windscreen. It's on the bench at the moment, but this all slides in, and you can fit all of that after you have this unit in. So that doesn't seem to be particularly difficult. I'm not lying, it took me several hours to actually install that in and out choke cable, and then then I realized that the next bit is wrong, take it all out again, learn from that mistake, and then assemble it. I'm not quite sure if there are cheat sheets anywhere, but I found it quite complicated, so don't be surprised if it takes some time. It's certainly not a 10-minute job. Alright, my next task is to move on to the wiring of the instruments in the center of the instrument panel. The door is fitted, and I'll make a film of how all of this goes together. Very pleasing. This is more difficult than you think, so I'm quite happy it's done. Can't wait to get pulled over by a police officer and I have to reach for my registration and insurance in my new glove box. Yeah. Who do you think you are, Sterling Moss? Very good.